sustainability into the living curriculum through an online module. My name is Sandra Maldonado.
My name is Jessica Hamill. My name is Marilyn Vanessa.
And I'm Madison Chase. Our presentation will go over our background, our objectives, our findings, and finally our conclusion.
So our project was overseen by our sponsor, Eduventures. Eduventures is an educational program of the National Museum of Namibia. The aim of this organization is to create environmental awareness through various educational programs such as multimedia, comics, comedy, and other new approaches. Our project was also overseen by our sponsor's partner, NDEET. So NDEET stands for Namib Desert Environmental Educational Trust. It's a nonprofit organization where children and adult participants can firsthand learn about sustainability, biodiversity, and the balance between human and its environment. So through educator-led programs and self-guided activities, the NDEET Center challenges Namibian assumptions about their idea of their impact of their day-to-day life choices and offer alternative ideas to these problems. So our sponsor and its partner, NDEET, have a common goal to implement ESD into the Namibian curriculum. ESD is Education for Sustainable Development, and it strives for the development of skills and competencies, values and awareness, and lastly, knowledge and understanding, which will later be used to improve the quality of life without destroying the planet for the future generation. So the aim of our project is to create an online interactive module that focuses on sustainability. Our module is a part of a larger project known as the Eduventures project that focuses on integrating Education for Sustainable Development, or ESD, into the Namibian curriculum. This is important because there is a lack of sustainability in the Namibian curriculum, and this is one of the creative efforts in trying to integrate the sustainability into the curriculum.
So in order to achieve our project goal, we actually came up with 3 objectives. So the first objective is to assess the biodiversity module and gain feedback from its users. Our second objective is to actually create the module focused on sustainability in Namibia. And our third objective is to implement this module into NDEET's already established teacher workshop. So the first thing we wanted to do was evaluate the effectiveness of the biodiversity module. The biodiversity module is actually the first module created in the EduLink project from a previous WPI team. So we came up with 3 methods to get this first objective done. So the 3 methods are secondary data analysis on the pre and post assessments of the biodiversity module. We also sent a survey to ESD educators, and then we interviewed ESD educators as well as Eduventures staff. So the purpose of analyzing the pre and post assessments from the biodiversity module was to understand what information we actually had to include into our own sustainability module. So as you can see here, there were 4 educators who took both pre and post assessments of the biodiversity module. And although only 1 educator actually got all 7 questions correct in the post assessment, it is clear that all of the educators actually did improve from the pre-assessment to the post-assessment. And from this information, we were able to understand that we did need to provide educational content about sustainability into our module rather than just how to implement this educational content, also known as pedagogy. So another thing we did was survey and interview ESD educators, and from this we got several responses that were actually repeated several times by several different educators, and we have highlighted 3 of them up here. So one of the first things that we got a lot was to include more practical hands-on activities and less computer-based activities. Another suggestion we received was to make the information that we're presenting in our module more Namibia specific so that the educators could actually relate to what they're learning. And the third suggestion was to reduce the wording in the module and make it more interactive.
So our second objective was to actually create an interactive module. First up, our team decided that we needed to visit the Namibian school to understand Namibian teachers and teaching styles. We visited Delta Secondary School, and from there we observed 3 different classrooms. We observed a 10th grade business class, 11th grade chemistry class, and 11th grade biology class. From these observations we gathered, we have understood that Namibian teachers use a lot of visuals and imagery when describing situations for students. And also they encourage peer-to-peer learning by creating group discussions. In order to incorporate these observations, our next step was to find a platform that can actually do this. We decided to use Smart Notebook has been previously used beforehand and also is compatible with Google Classroom, which is a source of education resources for educators already involved in the Eduventures project. From these platforms, we created a draft module, and that went through 4 different feedback sessions, 2 with Nidhi and 2 with Eduventures. The first session was with Eduventures, and it focused on the structure and presentation of the module. The second and third feedback session was with Nidhi, and it focused on the content flow and also the validity of the content in the modules. The final session was with Eduventures, and it simply went over minor revisions for the module.
So the third objective was to implement the module into Nidhi's teacher training workshop. So we had 3 different deliverables for this. The first deliverable was a sustainability module. The next deliverable was a lesson toolkit. And then the last deliverable was a pre and post assessment.
From the overall feedback, we decided we need to incorporate these 4 aspects into our module in order for it to be a success. The first aspect is it needs to be accessible offline. Our module also needs to be interactive. Our module needs to be medium, relevant, and specific, and also it needs to have concise wording.
So as I said before, the first deliverable was the sustainability module. This module consisted of 5 different topics. The first topic being on sustainable development and education for sustainable development. The second topic was on energy, household, and transport, which gave an overview of different energy sources used in Namibia, as well as how you can use them most efficiently. The next topic was on health and sustainable living. And this topic was on consumerism, healthy eating, and wise water use. The fourth topic was on waste, which talked about the global waste crisis, the local waste crisis, and how we can fix this. And the last topic was on taking action for global citizenship, which gave an overview of the previous 4 topics covered.
So per request of our sponsor and the feedbacks that we have received, we opted for a software which is Smart Notebook, that software that is accessible offline. But we still ran into a problem with our videos which required internet to play. So we chose to download these videos, link them to the software so that they can be played in virtual real games.
The next aspect that we implemented into our module was interactivity. So this is a game that we created where you sort different recyclables in Namibia. So if you drag an object into the recycling bin and it is correct, then it disappears into the bin. And if you drag an object and it is incorrect, then it bounces back out.
So another aspect we needed to include was relevance to Namibia. So as you can see here, these are the challenges of supplying water in both urban and rural areas of Namibia. But we weren't just looking at information being relevant to Namibia. When we were going through our module, we were also looking at things like pictures. So all the pictures we used were either from Namibia or things that Namibians can relate to.
And so the final aspect was for our module that concise wording. This is a screenshot of our first draft of the module. As you can see, it has heavy text and it has difficult graphs to see. So what we've done is we actually split the content of this into 2 different slides that show, they maximize the visualization necessary to make sure the same message is consistent.
Our next deliverable was to create a lesson toolkit. This lesson toolkit has screenshots of the entire module with instructions on how to use the module, as well as additional content. In addition to this, there are activities, discussion and debates, and games in the lesson toolkit that can be implemented all throughout the workshop. And then the last deliverable was to create a pre and post assessment that will be given in the workshop. This pre and post assessment has about 5 different questions from about each topic, and it will be used to assess whether the teachers were able to retain anything learned from the workshop.
So our team has submitted 3 different recommendations in case Eduventures wants to continue the Edulink project with more modules. The first recommendation is that there should be an earlier review of topic outlines within the first or second week of to make sure that the content of the module and the structure of the module flows well. Even if like the topic outline is incomplete, as long as like students know where they're going, it should be fine. The second recommendation is for more draft module submissions. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be complete. If the subtopics are submitted, like more submissions will produce a more quality module. And our third recommendation is for more sponsored partner meetings. As Meadow stated earlier, Indeed is our sponsored partner, and we believe that weekly or bi-weekly Skype sessions with them would have given us more structured work.
So our module is one step closer Namibia has taken as a nation to be more sustainable.
And July 2017, the Republic of Namibia has produced the National Renewable Energy Policy, and as you see later on throughout these presentations, this has incorporated multiple projects that promote renewable energy in Namibia so that it can be accessible, affordable, and attainable for all Namibians, no matter the cost of this.
Another step Namibia has taken is the Save Water Namibia campaign. So this highlights water management in Namibia by providing information on unnecessary water use as well as irresponsible water leakage. And from this, they target public institutions such as hospitals, governmental buildings, and schools.
One last step that Namibia has taken to be more sustainable is their Clean Up Namibia campaign, which is something the president implemented last year, which is an annual, which is one day every year, where across the nation, people in Namibia go around collecting areas with heavy pollution.
So congratulations and thank you to Namibia for taking these small steps and big steps to becoming more sustainable. We would also like to thank our amazing sponsor, Eduventures Trust, their partner Nadine, for helping us through building the module, our wonderful professor at Eduventures, Professor Doran and Professor Eddie, and our collaborators from back in the US, Dr. Rosbeck, Ms. Setterbeth, and Mrs. Tomaszewski. And thank you so much. That's everything.
Just a couple questions. The first question being the choice of school. Why did you choose Delta High School? And then the second question being the accessibility of the module to anybody who wants to access it. Is it just restricted to Eduventures and people do projects with them, or is it accessible to anybody who wants to implement an environmental sustainability project in their community or school? Those two questions.
So for the first question, prior to doing our Delta School observation, Eduventures had recently gone to Delta Secondary School to do an event called Environment Day, where they brought their mobile classroom and set up different stations. And I think Eduventures had a good relationship, and it was easy for us. We also participated, so I think they definitely didn't mind us going back there. It was like a good connection.
And as for the second question, I believe that could go to our sponsors. We're sitting right next to you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Forrest. Project coordinator for Eduventures. I cannot spell that because I'm nervous. But to answer the question, basically, we are working with 9 different centers in India. This is the first of its kind in the project is kind of collaboration between so many partners, government, so we actually try to figure it out. And of course, we will see what the future is. But definitely, this information is available online. And maybe my colleagues here with their business cards, I can give them to you. And then we'll be in touch.